Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com. National Public Radio and the Smithsonian say that the western U.S. is experiencing the worst drought in more than 1,200 years. And 3 weeks ago, the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientist said experts predict the Rio Grande will dry up completely all the way to Albuquerque. There's a lot of atomic scientists in New Mexico at Los Alamos National Labs and Sandia National Labs. I have a lot of interest in the Rio Grande because my favorite wild horses live near there. And I also grew up near the Rio Grande in New Mexico as well. So let's take a look at the United States Geologic Survey National Water Dashboard and see how the rivers are doing. Rio Grande below Elephant Butte Dam, New Mexico, discharging 1,730 cubic feet per second. That's normal for this day of the year. Rio Grande near Bosque, New Mexico, normal for this day of year. Rio Grande at Embudo, New Mexico, normal for this day of year. Let's look at some other rivers in New Mexico. Rio Mora, all-time high for this day of year. Pecos River, much above normal. Gila River, all-time high for this day of year. What about Arizona? Gila River, all-time high for this day of year. Little Colorado River, all-time high for this day of year. Oak Creek near Sedona, Arizona, much above normal for this day of year. I used to live in a trailer about 10 feet away from Oak Creek, a few miles south of there. What about up near the Grand Canyon? Little Colorado River near Desert View, Arizona, all-time high for this day of year. The forecast through July 20th shows lots and lots of rain streaming up into the southwest. I've been visiting these horses for many years and it looks to me like they're gonna be okay. NPR is funded largely by Bill Gates and they just move on from one climate scam to the next. So I'm not too worried about them either. They'll just pick up on a new disinformation campaign. The complete absence of checks and balances in the press allows them to spread any disinformation they feel like. The United Nations has been working for decades to convince the public that bad weather is caused by coal and oil and good weather is caused by giant bird choppers like these ones. Last November, the United Nations announced the end of coal. But that didn't last too long. Coal is making a big comeback because people don't want to freeze to death during the winter. Without enough energy, a lot of people would die during the winter from the cold and a lot of people would die during the summer from the heat. I'll be making a video later about the hottest July 4th in the United States in 1911 when thousands of people in New England died from the heat. And in Paris, 40,000 people died from the heat during that same summer. People need energy to survive, so we might wonder why NPR is engaged in this massive disinformation campaign against reliable, low-cost energy. Expensive energy doesn't hurt rich people like Bill Gates, but it's deadly for the poor. This was the front page of the New York Times on July 2nd, 1901. Heat's Holocaust in the 5 boroughs. Dozens of people were dying and poor people from the tenement districts were forced to camp out in the streets at night. Toto realized 14 years ago that the massive propaganda campaign against reliable low-cost energy was going to lead to the mess we're in now. You can visit Toto, Kyrie Caesar, Toki, and Upala on the web at RealClimateScience.com.